Working remotely can be a challenge, especially for teams that are new to it. How do you deal with your work environment being the same as home while staying productive? At a time when teams must come together more than ever to solve big challenges, Trello's here to help. Trello, part of Atlassian's collaborative suite, has been powering remote teams globally for almost a decade. Trello keeps everyone on the same page, helping teams communicate, focus, and connect. Try Trello for free and learn more at Trello.com. That's Trello.com. Now, more than ever, teams must come together and work together to solve big challenges, and Trello is here to help. Trello, part of Atlassian's collaborative suite, is an app with an easy-to-understand visual format, plus tons of features that make working with your team functional and fun. With Trello, you can work with your team wherever you are, whether it's at home or in an office. Keep your workflow going from wherever you are with Trello. Try Trello for free and learn more at Trello.com. That's Trello.com.
Scarpins Avenue.
Dan and Ren and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-hosts Arn and Dan. Bender, don't be a jerk, cause when the music hits, the funny hits, and we are gonna take you down. Stick around. Make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population you. Population die. Jeffrey
That's
die.
actually pretty accurate.
Dude, population die. It's Dumb People Town, and we're so happy that you're with us.
Thank you.
Dude, we're such a fan of your stand-up.
That's nice of you.
You as
guys
a
are
person.
smart guys, and
Yeah.
you talk about dumb people stuff. I'm a dumb guy.
And you do, well, so
in
this
a
is gonna,
smart person.
Okay,
podcast.
so I don't know about that, my man. We have watched you do stand-up, and you might be playing the dumb card, but
I
you're
do.
playing it out of a smart hand. You're playing out of a
Well,
smart
thank you.
deck. Well, it's and maybe you will help like us understand a perspective
Sure.
of what's going on because we do believe that the world is getting dumber. And
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you know we talked about before we got on air going to Vegas, which is kind of like a dumb people like dream. It's like a dumb biodome. It's you know what I mean? Like Dan knows.
Dreamcatcher.
Right?
That's so
It's just
true.
gonna. It's like you know how like sometimes
Like property's cheap here, and we're so close to the strip.
and we can gamble. No, you don't.
We can
gamble
gamble
if you
means you
live there.
lose your house.
If you live in Vegas, like that should be the first rule. It's like
I
do
think
not,
we can cross here.
No, you
don't
cannot.
cross
Right.
the street there.
You know who else
can't.
thought you could cross there? Tupac. And then he denied it. So we believe the world's getting dumber, and the only way to fight back is through comedy. So our awesome fans send us stories, and then the four of us break them down. Now, the three of us have not heard the stories. Dan's cursely gone through that, like barely gone
Barely
through
heard
it. So let's jump into
Now,
the story.
okay, but I will just want to preface it.
Sure.
I've listened to your podcast heaps.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like heaps and heaps.
Yeah.
For a while now, and so it's always I'm always like, who's getting these stories?
So our fans find
It's
them.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
then they tweet at Dan, and they, you know,
How do you
add-
do it, Dan?
Add
Add
Daniel Van Kirk, and then hashtag Dumb People Town.
This is like when I'm like, oh, how do I get my animation? How do I get my stand-up animated? And then Joe Rogan's like, oh, I just have fans just send it to me. I was like, well,
No, well, that's
they
Joe
just
Rogan.
send it. You know,
Joe
you
Rogan.
got fans just sending you
Fans
stuff.
are just
it's
sent-
fantastic.
How did I
get
get
fans?
You're like Rogan, how did you get that last Tesla? And he's like, my fans just
Some
gave
guy
me,
just gave it to me.
gave me a Tesla.
Just a
Anyway,
fan of the podcast.
we
Right.
saw, I saw him
Leave me
yesterday.
alone.
I was like, congratulations on owning the world. All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. This was sent in by Derek Shipley, at Derek Shipley, who I think he must have some sort of Google notification because he is the first person to be sending in a lot of these. And today,
What's
he
his
has
Google
a-
notification?
his
His Google
for
notification
dumb.
is just stupidity.
Dumb.
And
He's
it
the
just
guy that
comes
always
in.
gets the tickets. You know, he gets them right away.
Yeah,
second.
he's the first caller. He's the first,
Yeah.
and he's like, even though he's not TSA pre-check, and I know you go through this for flying Southwest Airlines, he's always like A31. You're like, how did he get A31?
It doesn't make any sense.
This guy's unreal.
You ready?
Yes.
We've got a Greenlee.
Yes.
Okay.
Explain
Jeff,
to
do you
Jeff
know
Dye
what
what a
Greenlee
Greenlee
is?
is. No, I'm sure he doesn't.
There's
So,
a man named Will Greenlee who writes for the TC Palm, the Treasure Coast Palm. He
In
does
Florida.
off the beat news, which is just strange news, and then What's your guys' theory? He has a word.
So here's the thing. So he writes these really dumb stories about stupid people in Florida doing dumb things.
And then
Now,
he over-explains things that we already know what
Like
they are.
pants.
Like he'll over-explain it. He
What
in one
pants
story
are.
explained what an anchor is, and we're
What
like,
a
In
great-
one story, he wrote 2 full verses of the thong song
just
in
to
his
let
article.
people know we're so
And
in
that's not
our
even what the story was about.
He knows they're dumb. He
Right.
knows they need.
so that
Or-
or he's got 1,500 words to fill. These stories only take like 900, so he's like, I gotta fill this.
You guys, shirts are those things you put your arms through.
not
Okay,
wrong.
you're not joking.
Okay,
All
so
right.
you're already onto it. So the game with this, and which is so much fun because we've done so many Greenlees,
Right.
is Dan,
I add in some of my own over explanations.
And we have to-
Which
guess.
one?
and we have to guess
okay.
what's a Dan and what's a Greenlee.
Sometimes
That's tough.
Sometimes he's not written any, and I've written them all.
Yeah.
Other
nice.
times I haven't written any. He's written
Dan
them all.
has-
There is no pattern.
There is no
Well,
pattern.
Suffice to say, Michael Che came on the show in Brooklyn when we did it at the Bell House, and he's
like, I
three
got
in,
it.
He's like,
I got
figured
it.
it out.
I figured it out. And
And then
then
he proceeded to get the next
Next
3
two
wrong.
Oh, really?
Dan was
So-
like, you have not figured.
He thought he cracked the
He
code.
thought he cracked the code. And
There
he
is
just-
no code.
There is
Yeah.
no Greenlee
Okay.
code. All right.
Fort Pierce, Florida.
Okay.
A man wasn't accused of speaking in tongues. He was,
Wasn't?
however,
Not a
accused
story.
of swiping 3 beef tongues. That is not a. I love you, Will, but
Jesus.
he went a long way to get there.
Speaking in tongues and stealing
Because
3 beef tongues. Not to mention 2 steaks, a rib roast, and other items.
Did someone rip off an Omaha Steaks? What's happening?
Then Will includes a picture that I think it's him.
For a man that's this specific, he wrote, and 3 other items.
Right.
Don't you need words? You're a
Thank
Greenlee,
you,
right?
Jeff. Thank you.
This picture.
Oh, and other
Beautiful.
stuff.
I'm going to read it to you.
And other stuff that I
as,
could.
as you get to look at it. Ready? This is a tongue. No, it's not a beef tongue, but a human tongue. He put that in the article.
Why?
That is Will Greenlee's
That is
face.
Will Greenlee's face.
You think so?
Yes. Why would he put his own tongue? in?
This
Just to
is a
prove-
tongue.
Not a-
Note, it's not a beef tongue, but a
So
human.
now
And then
this-
he gives himself photo credit.
So now this goes back to what Jeff Dye was saying, which is he's writing this. He understands how dumb the world is,
Right.
and so he's like, I need to show this and explain to the people who are reading.
Also, technically, that's a sext.
Is that a sect? Can you do that?
Feels
Well,
like it.
also, wait, why would he introduce a man was not accused of speaking in tongues? That would confuse his listeners because now it's a
He's
third
showing it-
version of tongue.
That's right.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Also, that is technically a beef
Tongue.
tongue.
You're
If
right.
It's like
It
a
technically
human
is. It's
tongue.
not a cow
ma-
tongue,
It's
but it
made
is-
of meat.
I'm
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
cannibals
Flesh, it's human.
have eaten tongue.
That's a beef
Man
tongue.
tongue.
You're
Yeah.
right.
tongue.
It is a beef tongue.
Man tongue is my favorite shock jock from Chicago.
Long may he reign. The case of the alleged meat marauder went down October 24th at a Publix in the 2500 block of South US 1 in Fort Pierce. An arrest affidavit says.
Of course.
Exact address.
This
How
is
bad
like
is
the
that meat?
epicenter.
How bad is the
Exact
meat
address.
at a Publix? Like how?
Good.
Publix is good,
Yeah.
right? Have you been down to Florida? You perform down
I
in Florida.
perform in Florida a lot.
Yeah, so
It's like 10 different states.
Have you
Yeah.
done Key West? Have any of you guys done
I'm
Key
doing that
West?
soon with Dave
I want
Williams
to.
soon.
It's supposed to be a fun club
I
down there.
just
Do it before
money's
it's
horrible, but it's
do it before
Yeah,
it's
but you're in Key
underwater.
West.
yeah.
Do it before it's gone.
We're trying to book things on the other ends of it because we're like we can't fly
Yeah,
there
it's
for
no-
that.
that's
Do Tampa, Orlando, and Jacksonville.
What's what we're gonna do like West
Yeah,
Palm and
yeah.
West. But anyways,
All right.
Hillbilly Coast.
right.
Hillbilly Riviera.
A loss prevention worker told Fort Pierce police she saw the man with the shopping cart with 2 subs and 2 drinks. He also had an empty backpack. She said the man went to the deli ordering 2 packages of lunch meat, which is meat eaten for lunch, and then put them in the cart.
Okay.
Who wanted you to know?
That lunch meat
Meat
is
is
meat
meat
eaten
eaten
for
for
lunch.
lunch.
Was that Dan or was that Greenlee? What do you think, Jeff?
I'm gonna not like Dan if you wrote that. I'm not gonna. I don't want you to
To have
written
written that, so you say it's a
I'm gonna
Greenlee?
say it's a Greenlee.
All right, Jay.
I think it's Dan.
I think it's a Greenlee.
Okay. The person who said she went to the meat deli ordering 2 packages of lunch meat, which is meat eaten for lunch, and put them in the cart was, play along, townies, Will Greenlee.
Ah, Jeff and I.
You're better than
Damn
that.
it.
That's the thing.
From the meat department, he selected 2 steaks, a rib roast, and 3 beef tongues and placed them in the cart, the affidavit states. A shopping cart is commonly
No.
is commonly a metal basket on 4 wheels used for carrying items while shopping.
That's money. I like this.
Who's that? Who do you think
I
that
still
is?
think that's a Greenlee. though.
Okay, Jay.
That's Dan.
I think that's Dan too.
okay.
If Will Greenlee did this,
a rib roast, and 3 beef tongues and place them in the cart, the affidavit states. A shopping cart is commonly a metal basket on 4 wheels used for carrying items while shopping.
I want to start riding like it.
I know, right?
The answer is me.
Yeah!
I knew it.
I knew it.
All right.
A
I
steak,
still don't know
Still
how I
batting
knew
500.
it. But I still don't know how to do it. Yeah, you're doing great.
a steak is a slice of meat, often cow, but sometimes fish, such as salmon. Who said that?
That's a Greenlee, too.
That's Greenlee.
That's
Jay?
Greenlee.
The person who wrote that? Will Greenlee.
Yeah, we're on a roll.
That differs from a rib roast.
A roll is a just kidding.
That differs from a rib roast, which is a cut of beef taken from the small end of the ribs and containing a large ribeye or 2 more ribs. Or 2 or more ribs.
That's Will Greenlee.
Okay.
I'd hate to go all Greenlee, but I'm doing Greenlee again.
Okay.
I think that's Dan.
Okay. The person who wants you to know that a steak is different from a rib roast, which is a cut of beef taken from the small end of the ribs and containing a large ribeye or 2 or more ribs, is Will Greenlee.
Yes!
Nice.
Jeff! Jeff's on
Right.
such a roll.
A cow has 13 ribs on each side, with butchers referring to them in ascending order from front to back, according to Cook's Illustrated. Ribs 1 through 5 are in the chuck section, while 6 through 12 are the rib area, and the
This is an
13th
article.
is a portion of the loin. Who wanted you to know the breakdown of ribs inside a cow?
Who do you think?
This is the
It's
best
so
game.
hard.
Like the fact that we've played this game so much, and I've never been
No
more
clue.
lost
No clue.
as a human.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff, we play this all the time. You may be even better than this because
While you think,
we're in our heads so much on this.
Jeff, I'll remind you guys, I tweeted this out as when we were recording yesterday. I
Oh.
came across a Greenlee. So insane. I'm saving it for San Francisco,
San
which did
Francisco.
not make my day easier as I put together all the
I know,
because
because you knew you had that one in the chamber.
But I was like, I could. But I was like, this
Nope.
we'll wait for the
Nope.
live.
the San
Sketch
Francisco
Fest on the
live show
17th.
at the Marines Memorial Theater is going to be amazing.
January 17th, Ted Leo and Amy Mann.
It's not very often I pull a
Save something like that.
story
a
over
month
a month
ahead
away.
of time.
Yes.
It's worth
Secret
it.
Amy
pocket.
Mann.
Yeah.
So
Amy
who,
Mann will
who
be on
did,
that show.
I know, just put in that.
Who wants you to know the amount of ribs, where they reside inside a
I think
cow?
that's also Greenlee because what a tremendous amount of research you would have had to done to
Dan does
come
the
up with
research.
that.
Jay, what do you think it is?
I've said Dan twice in a row and been wrong.
Yeah,
I'm going to say Dan.
Okay.
I'm going to say Dan again.
Okay. The person wants you to know that a cow has 13 ribs. 1 through 5 are in the chuck section, while 6 through 12 are in the rib area, and the 13th is a portion of the loin. The person who wants you to know that is Will Greenlee.
Oh, Jeff Dye is on fire right now.
You're going to Vegas?
Except that metal basket. Yeah.
You better start gambling.
Yes,
the
dude,
second
when you
you
get
there.
there.
Jeff
You have-
Jackpot died.
believe
You're
in yourself.
on a roll, dude. Believe in yourself.
An entire 7 rib roast can weigh as much as 22 pounds. Butchers many times separate the roast into 2 smaller roasts known as the first cut and the second cut.
First cut is the deepest.
Wait, what are we? Do you even remember what
The
happened
story
in this
is
guy
a
not
guy
in an
stole
article.
meat.
A
He
beef
stole.
tongue is not a human
But
tongue.
how far have we gotten
We've
from
gone
that?
so far
An
from
empty
topic.
backpack is what the kid was holding. That's what it should say.
A backpack that doesn't have anything in it. A backpack is worn on your back. Jeff, who do you think said that last?
I
bit?
think that last one's you.
Okay.
It's the first time I'm picking you.
Okay.
I think it's Dan too. I'm going to stay with that.
Okay.
I think it's Dan.
Okay. The person who wants you to know that an entire 7 rib roast can weigh 22 pounds and butchers cut them into 2 smaller roasts known as the first and second cut is Will Greenlee.
Oh my God!
it.
What
Dan,
is he
you are so
doing?
in our heads.
What
It's-
is he doing in
No,
this article?
I
Why
blame
are some of
Dan.
them better than the others?
I blame Dan.
Dan.
He's so in our heads. Dan, you are working it so hard.
Meanwhile, the man got some milk and proceeded along aisle 13, where he's accused of loading the items into the backpack. A
Okay, by
bag
the
with
way-
shoulder straps that allows items to be carried on one's back.
That is Dan.
I say Dan too.
I mean, I don't even believe in like anything anymore. Because of how much you're messing with
He's
my
lost
brain.
his humanity.
We've lost. It's like this.
I think that's Dan.
Okay.
If you're flying in the fog and like you
Yeah.
just don't know where the shore is, we've lost it. We've lost the shore.
Meanwhile, the man got some milk and proceeded along aisle 13, where
Got
he's
some
accused of loading all the items in the backpack, a bag with shoulder straps that allows items to be carried on one's back. The person who wants you to know what a backpack is me.
Yeah,
we're back in it.
You know
Found the
why I
shore.
thought that
Found the
was you?
shore.
Because I think Will, if you were writing it, would have added more words. I think it would have been like
Jay,
a
don't
backpack.
theorize. You don't
also
know what you're
known
talking
as
about.
a satchel.
You don't,
But he
Jay.
didn't on lunch meat, remember? He
Right.
was like lunch meat, something you eat at lunch.
Right.
Yeah, which was
Just
too
a quickie.
cutesy,
That was
in
like
my
a. That
opinion.
was like a. we're
I'll
gonna
eat it
warm
any goddamn time I want.
You guys, I finally figured this out.
We have to do a show in Florida.
This
with
happens
him.
with every
We
guest.
have to.
Lunch meat.
You, and by you I mean the proverbial guest, and then the two of you.
We try to come up with
No,
the
you
pattern.
guys play the Greenlee game as though you're playing craps. And when it hits yo, and it's on 11,
We go nuts.
excited, yeah.
We go nuts.
Like, we're back in it. You talk as though you're
We're
standing
back
around
in.
a craps
Right.
table. All
We're
right,
back
all
in.
right.
Come
Give
on,
me
let's-
6
you
and
know
8.
why?
Give me 6 and 8.
You know why? Because his writing is crap. All right, continue.
Yeah, well, I'll look for a reason to celebrate anything.
I
It's
love
fun.
it.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
Okay.
It's good to celebrate.
Investigators said he bought the milk, but neglected to pay how much for the other goods. I'm going to let you guys take a guess. We'll run it down.
What he stole.
Yeah.
3 tongue.
Yeah.
I'm bad at this game.
He stole 2 steaks, a rib roast, other items, and 3 beef tongues.
As Jeff pointed
Other
out,
items.
other items.
So
Could have
vague.
specified.
I know.
And
For
by
a
the way,
Greenlee, why are you being vague if you're a Greenlee?
I know.
I love that Jeff's
Wait,
on
why?
it. This-
Why buy the milk if you can get the cow for free? Is my
It's a
question.
great, if you
Right?
can steal the cow for free.
free.
All right, so if you can steal the rib roast for free, how much do you think it
I'm
all
so bad
costs?
at these games.
I'm bad too,
when it
but
comes
do-
to like guessing how much
You
stuff
got some
costs,
steaks, you got 3 beef
Steaks.
tongues, you got a rib roast, and
I'll
some other
say
items.
$45.
Okay.
Good guess, Jason.
I'm going to say $76.
76 from Jason
I'm gonna
Sklar.
say 59.
Okay. The total amount, just a fun little side game, was play along townies. Yell at your cubicle mate.
This is
your
I love
cube
this.
mate.
So
Yell
as
at your
people-
work wife.
So this is my favorite part of this. I think of and people have tweeted us that they do this at their office
They're
or
on
if
the subway.
the subway or the office, or they're just someone just random people everywhere who are listening to this at some point are like 48.
Yeah. In fact, if you're
48.
running the office, go out, ask everybody. Don't even give them context. Be like, how much money do you think the guy stole? Whoever gets closest gets to go home early. Too.
Or a
That's
promotion.
A great
Yeah.
idea.
A promotion.
Do you guys
We're
talk,
gonna
the older I
restructure
get, the more
company.
I'll talk out loud. Like I'll
Oh,
be like
yeah.
on the train in New York and like something will be funny on a podcast. And I'll be like, yes, and people are like, what? But I don't.
Right.
I don't. It doesn't bother me.
The
that they
amount of
just
people
heard
who
me say
listen to this
yes.
show that are like 37.
Yeah, just right there at Starbucks.
If
Just
you're
shouting it.
anywhere and you hear someone yell at a number, you just be like, "Don't people tell me?"
Investigators said he bought the milk but neglected to pay the amount of, this is for the other goods, $162.89.
I knew
Stole
it.
and you were
lot of
still.
I was still way
Low.
short, but I
Right.
was higher than you
Those
guys.
other
said
items
45,
are
I said
45.
45.
Eggs,
I don't know. I think of these like small towns, maybe crab's cheap or something.
Right.
Jay,
It is-
you were less than half of what he
I
did.
still was better than you
my
guys.
God. All right,
Yeah,
fine.
you took the
I
over.
won.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Don't
took the
gloat.
over.
Don't
It is
gloat.
not known whether the milk was from a cow or from a goat. It could also have been almond milk after the United States Court of Appeals dismissed a class action lawsuit against the makers of Blue Diamond almond milk in 2019, ruling that its milk label does not violate federal law.
Blue Diamond Resorts.
Yeah.
Blue Diamond Phillips.
Blue Diamond.
Who
Blue
wants-
Diamond. I love Blue Diamond Phillips in La Bamba. It was amazing.
And Stand and
Stand and deliver. Sure.
Who wants you to know that it could have been cow's, goat, or almond
Almond milk,
milk
and then
based on a
described almond.
2019 ruling?
Why did he even add that?
So you're
It
automatically.
could have also been
Yeah.
almond water that was like, and then he
Could have been
brings a
coconut
lawsuit
water.
into
Could have
this
been
guy.
breast milk. What do you think?
I think that's a Greenlee for sure. Though.
I think that's a Greenlee.
Okay.
That's Dan.
Okay. The person who wants you to know that it could have been almond milk after the United States Court of Appeals dismissed a class action lawsuit against the makers of Blue Diamond almond milk in 2019, ruling that its, quote, milk label doesn't violate federal law is me.
I wanted to switch to the last. I was like, I don't know, maybe.
Damn, that's a little.
Because you
good
saw two
facts.
milks, and then you go, maybe I'll pop in this one,
I
and
know,
then add a
and that was
fact
good.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
You Dan, are. that was. Dan, that one.
You're like
could,
a copycat killer,
I'm
Dan.
just
Yeah.
gonna say that specific one could destroy me for all
It's ruining
future.
your
Also,
confidence.
yeah, but also I think you're in the mind of Greenlee, like, oh, here's something he
Dude,
made.
Oh,
yeah,
it
yeah, I
is.
have to.
Dan is so up in Greenlee's cranium. I'm just saying, it is. That one is gonna mess me up. for
My
a long
hope
time.
when I add these is that he hears this and is like, oh, I could have put that
I should be more specific.
because he loves a good deep
I can learn
aside.
something. Yeah, he loves it.
Like, also, side note, we didn't tell you, he's one of the people who broke open the Robert Kraft like sex story.
Oh, really?
down
I
his-
hated that story.
Well,
though.
he was a stringer down there, and he made it happen.
The man was arrested on a misdemeanor larceny charge and taken to the St. Lucie County Jail. If you want, we can get out on how old do you think the man is.
Yeah, let's do that.
Who is a guy at a grocery store with a backpack stealing beef tongues, steaks, other items.
I want to say
hot
he's
roast.
15 is what I,
Okay,
would think.
say
yeah.
it.
And he's on
He's
that
got an
paleo
empty
kick.
backpack.
Yeah,
What
say
the heck's
15.
going
Say
on?
15 if you think
I'll say he's 17.
17.
Okay, Jay.
Wait, was he arrested?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go 22.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna say he is 63, and he's
I just want my meat.
It's like the Jinx.
He's
like
like,
that guy
it's like
stole that
when you see a
ham sandwich.
78-year.
He's 3 days into keto.
Robert.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, he has like very light, very high jeans, like and wide.
No, he's like a
jeans.
78-year-old guy who still wears cargo shorts. You're like, stop doing
63.
Okay, 63.
it. I think I think he's 42.
42? Okay. All right.
15, 63.
Young,
and 40.
middle-aged, and old.
17. I
That's
know,
what we
we're
did.
covering it all.
17.
One of you is exactly
Oh, my God.
Oh my God! All right, so we get to play this
Now you
game.
get to play
God,
another
I hope
game.
it's me.
So
who
now-
do you
who do you think is
right?
exactly
Now
right?
you're a
God.
guest. You can go first, Tig, or third. You pick in the slot
I'll
where you
go
want to go.
last because
Okay.
screwed
So-
me to go early. You know,
I'm
I guess
betting-
$45 and he wins with 70.
I'm
Yeah.
betting that it's me, 63.
Okay.
I think that it's me, 42. Jeff,
Okay.
who do you think is right? You can stand by
I
your.
think it's him.
you think
think
it's
it's
me?
Randy.
Okay,
Yeah.
42.
Okay.
42.
All
Because
right.
that sounds right. After he said it, I was like,
Okay, good.
Just-
See, that's
he
the
does
beauty
sound
of
like
this.
my dad.
You better not have been
my
right.
dad would steal a beef tongue.
The man who is speaking in tongues, or not speaking in tongues, rather,
stealing
swiping beef
tongues,
tongues,
yeah.
along with 2 steaks, a rib roast, which we learned a lot about, other items.
Wait, why didn't I pick myself?
Paid for
because
milk.
then I'd win twice if I win.
I know.
Yeah, that's right.
Paid
Well,
for
you-
milk,
You can switch.
but
You
we
wanna
don't
stay
know
with
which kind
yourself?
of milk.
I'm picking me.
You're
Stay
picking
with
you.
you.
I'm
Jeff,
staying
switch back
Okay.
to him.
Okay.
The roulette wheel is still going, so like
Yeah,
the
because
ball's
that's me
still
going.
You can move it.
Oh, I was right on,
Right.
but then I picked you
That's
as
right.
being right on.
We can move
so
it.
I win and lose, but
So
I'm
we
going to
can
win-win.
Okay.
Or lose-lose.
He also paid for his milk. We don't know what kind it was.
Stop.
We know it's not almond.
Right.
And the loss prevention officer who caught his ass found out that the man is, play along, townies, because he is 42 years old.
Oh my
God! You should have stayed.
You could have had a
No,
piece.
I
You
lost.
coulda had a
Lost.
piece.
I didn't want to win.
You
win.
initially guessed correctly. So your first instinct is your second instinct is right. Your
Yeah.
first instinct was the wrong
Way
age.
off.
Your second
Third instinct wrong.
also
Third
wrong.
is
So
also
just
right.
stay on the even instincts right there. All right,
Don't
Jeff.
jump around.
Jeff Dye's with us. That's one story down in the books. When we come back, we're going to hear about all the great stuff that's going on with him. This is Dumb People Town. Stay with us.
Stick around, make a sound for more Dumb People Town.
Working remotely can be a challenge, especially for teams that are new to it. How do you deal with your work environment being the same as home while staying connected and productive? And then there's your newest coworker, the cat. Well, your friends at Trello have been powering remote teams globally for almost a decade. At a time when teams must come together more than ever to solve big challenges, Trello's here to help. Trello, part of Atlassian's collaborative suite, is an app with an easy-to-understand visual format, plus tons of features that make working with your team functional and just plain fun. Trello keeps everyone organized and on the same page, helping teams communicate, focus, and connect. Teams of all shapes and sizes at companies like Google, Fender, Costco, and likely your favorite neighborhood coffee shop all use Trello to collaborate and get work done. Try Trello for free and learn more at Trello.com. That's Trello.com. Trello.com. It's a trying time that challenges all of our basic assumptions. However, one thing that brings us all together is our common humanity. Now more than ever, teams must come together and work together to solve big challenges. And Trello is here to help. Trello, part of Atlassian's collaborative suite, is an app with an easy-to-understand visual format. Plus, tons of features that make working with your team functional and just plain fun. Teams of all shapes and sizes in companies like Google, Fender, and even Costco all use Trello to collaborate and get work done. With Trello, you can work with your team wherever you are, whether it's at home or in an office. No matter what device you're using, computer, tablet, or phone, Trello syncs across all of them, so you can stay up to date on all the things your team cares about. Keep your workflow going from wherever you are with Trello. Try Trello for free and learn more at Trello.com. That's Trello.com. Trello.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to DPT. We did mention it. We want to see you guys out there. A couple live things we want to tell you about. We are taking this show on the road and doing theaters, big theaters in cities that
When the dumb comes down in the city on the bay.
you better fucking be there.
You better be there.
So we're going to be in San Francisco on January 17th.
That's a Friday night, 7:30 at the Marines Memorial Theater. That's like a 500 or 600.
Shake that post-holiday
theater.
work week
Amy
off.
Mann and Ted Leo, our first guests. We're working on more guests. It's going to be an epic show. If you want to see them play some music and also participate, it's
And
a
will
great
be
show.
just one of the greatest Greenlees
Do you want to
ever.
go to a Ted Leo and Amy Mann concert? And
That's
then
also
hear some
Dumb People
comedy?
Town?
Yeah.
Yeah, do
Then
that.
come to that. And then also, we're going to be in Minneapolis, Milwaukee, and St. Louis on March 19th, 20th, and 21st.
Yep.
And then on June 18th, 19th, and 20th, I
We'll be in
believe.
Vancouver at the Rio Theater, and then Seattle at Washington Hall, and then the 20th will be at the Aladdin Theater. in
And all the
Portland.
links for all those tickets, you can go to the Facebook page. It's pinned. It's right there at the top. I think we might not have the link yet for either Seattle or Portland. Maybe
We'll
it's
get it up
Seattle.
there.
But as soon as we get it, it'll be up there.
And
Guys,
a legendary Greenlee. I mean,
And
like,
a legendary
on-
Greenlee.
that
is
should
in
have
the-
moved some tickets right there.
I think it
One
did.
you save.
Yeah, exactly. So, and all go to DanielVanKirk.com to see all of his live stand-up dates.
Yeah,
Supersklars.com for us, and Jeff Dye. Where can people?
JeffDye.com.
So,
DYE.
DYE, as in like
Dye.
Jermaine Dye.
Exactly.
So, what else is going on? Where can people see you? I know people can see you on the TVs as well. So.
We're on hiatus for my show on NBC, which is fine. But I might be doing a new Fox project. So I spent
Great.
the last year making fun of singing shows. Like one of my new bits is just making fun of how stupid singing
Yeah,
shows are.
The Masked Singer.
And then my agent's like, "Hey,
They want you.
We got a singing show for you." And I was like, "Oh no! Like, should I take that down? Like,
To
should
host?
No, I'll be like one of the
Judges?
celebrity panels.
Great.
Like me, Joel.
Do it.
Taylor.
You'll be,
Yeah,
you got to do it.
That'd be fun.
What's the NBC show? Explain people so they
Oh
know.
yeah. So it's me, William Shatner, Henry Winkler, Terry Bradshaw, and George Foreman, and we travel the world.
That's so great.
Yeah, it's fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
How is Bradshaw's rickets? No, he's got.
Shingles.
How are they?
It's-
bothering him still?
He hasn't had it forever.
Okay, good.
But he had it. He did have it.
I
He
worry
seems-
about him.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
seems super fun. Terry
They-
Bradshaw
oh,
seems
the-
super
he's
fun.
the funnest guy. In the
How
The
about
most
George
fun.
Foreman? Is he always trying to grill shit for you?
world. No.
He's not.
I
I
love
like
it.
that he was in the most legendary sporting event in the history of
The
of
Rumble in the
sports.
Jungle, dude.
But what we
And
remember,
lost.
because he's so
We remember the
old.
grill.
We're
I
like, oh,
remember-
the guy that slung
But
grills.
okay,
No,
but
then he made a
for-
comeback when we were
so,
like,
and he won.
And he won.
is like
Yeah.
a 40,
The oldest heavyweight
42. I mean, he's like,
When like Ali couldn't talk anymore, George Foreman was like winning the.
yeah, he's like, I still punch good.
Yeah, and you're like, "Ugh, I
and
can't
he just
I still name kids good. No, you don't. You
No, you
name
don't.
two of them George.
all of them George.
All of them are George.
But he's an amazing dude. That is so cool, and
That's
people can
fun.
see it. Can people see old episodes? I'm
Yeah,
assuming
it's on Hulu and it's
Hulu
on
and
all
on the
the-
Peacock. I'm
Yep,
sure
it's
that
on the
which
NBC
is
app.
NBC's streaming thing. Fantastic. So
Thanks.
happy
Fun.
you got it. Because not only if you haven't seen Jeff Dye do stand up,
Go do that.
Go do that. He's got
Someone
great- That's what I
just
love
said they
most.
were hanging. Who told us they were hanging with you? They were like, I'm hanging with Jeff Dye, or I just saw Jeff Dye, and I was like, tell them you're friends of ours. God, they just saw you somewhere, and they loved it so much.
Oh, that's nice.
Were you on the East Coast recently, or no?
I'm somewhere every weekend. Like
Okay.
I'm a club comic for life. Like
Yeah.
I and even if like I want to become like no matter if it stays at this level, gets lower, gets higher for my career. Like I want to always be clubs.
Great.
Yeah, I think
Because
that's where you.
I think it'd be harder.
We've seen
to
you do
sell
stuff
out
in LA.
theaters and stuff,
It
you know?
is, but we've seen you in LA and just that intimacy that you connect really well with the audience. So it's not that you can't do that in a theater. It's just a different animal. It's
Yeah,
just a
and also
different thing.
wouldn't it be better to have the ticket that's hard to get? Like, what if someone's just like, "Whoa, you got Sklar Brothers tickets? Like, how'd you get that?" As opposed to like,
I
in a
got two
theater-
Jeff Dyes. I got two Jeff Dyes.
Whereas opposed like in a theater, they're gonna be like, "Dude, Sklar's, we sold 5,000 seats, but you got 3,000 empty."
Oh God,
You know,
that's
like
too
it's an
much.
this site 8,000, and you
You're
only
right.
sold
He's
5,000.
making me feel better about being in clubs. Thanks,
Clubs
Jeff.
are great, man.
I love that. So let's jump into another story. We've got one right now. But again, JeffDye.com if you want to see him, and then go see the show where you travel the world with Bradshaw,
Please do.
Foreman. And I wish he was like Bradshaw, Foreman. Who else do we want
Well,
on that show?
oh, yeah.
Shatner, Bradshaw,
John Tesh.
Foreman, John Tesh. I want to.
would be great.
Tesh would be
You
great.
know who
in
I
there.
wanted? Hulk Hogan,
Hulk
Ken
Hogan-
Griffey Jr. Like
Kenny
those are the guys
G.
that I would
What if
love
Kenny
to.
G was in there with you guys?
Mark Grace.
Malcolm Jamal
Crazy.
Warner.
Oh, dude.
Gracie.
Malcolm Jamal Warner. Like this
Felicia Rashad, like just you,
Carl Everett.
Carl
just
Lewis.
breaking coffee tables over people's
Charles
faces.
Oakley.
Oh my God.
Oakley just choking bitches at restaurants. I love it. All right, so let's.
Okay, you ready for a
Be
story?
amazing.
It's pretty
This
well.
was sent in by Gillen. Rhymes with villain, thrillin', penicillin at Gildozer.
I love it.
Gillen wants people to get that name.
Was that a Greenlee?
Right. I know, right?
That's
a real person's
someone's Twitter
handle.
handle.
You want to hear the headline?
Yeah.
Man arrested after breaking into store to save mannequins, which is the plot of a great
Was it-
1980s.
What a
Which is-
sweetheart.
right?
I know.
He had to.
Was it Andrew McCarthy?
Yeah, it's a new Andrew McCarthy project. I love it.
You know, okay, ready?
Yeah.
Mont Hardcastle is used to seeing interesting things in his line of work.
Wait,
And
the guy's name is
I know. When I first read it too, I was like, "Is the place
Mount
And then I-
Hardcastle? No,
Mont.
Mont, like Monty.
You
What?
guys-
Mont.
What
Mont
race or
Hardcastle.
what nationality is Mont?
He is.
Mont.
Mont Hardcastle
Motorcycle?
seems
Sturgis.
It's a motorcycle.
Dan, Mont Hardcastle seems like the rich husband who doesn't pay enough attention to his wife before she hooks up with the gardener in like a romance.
No, Mont Hardcastle is the guy you hire to find a missing person.
Look at
Mont.
Mont. He is like
Everything we want him to be in
you
more.
can, I'm going to tell you two things by looking at him.
No sleeves.
You could tell that he's like he.
He owns a tuxedo with no
You
sleeves.
could tell he's friendly, but has also stabbed somebody.
Oh my God.
He's Mont.
That's exactly
What a
who I thought it
perfect-
was.
Yeah.
Mont
That's who I thought it
I
Hardcastle
pictured
looks.
a black guy. That's why I didn't say anything because I was like, I don't want to sound.
No,
No.
he looks like MC Gainey, our buddy who was on Lost.
Oh,
and he was on.
Mont.
Let me see him again.
He's been in a tough man competition.
Isn't that an
Mont
MC
is the
Gainey
guy.
kid?
That guy looks like a guy with like he's got a Harley Davidson and he
Yep.
thinks he's tough with the leather vest and all that, but he's actually kind of a sweetheart.
That's
Like,
what
he's
I'm
like nice
saying.
to his
Yeah.
wife.
Friendly,
He will give you the
softy.
best hug ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Mont Hardcastle.
always has a knife you can borrow. Always.
On him.
He's good at finding like really political Republican memes
Boot
for his
knife.
Facebook.
Boot knife.
Right.
Boot now.
Mont.
He's the manager of Marty Bird's Bar and Grill.
Of course he is.
He's the manager.
The manager.
What
bars
does he
need
own
manager?
It? No,
You-
I manage it.
Oh, bars need a bouncer and a bartender.
Right.
You
it
don't
doesn't
need
make
a
any
manager.
And the bartender might be the owner or like
Yeah, it's like
Right.
everybody wears different hats.
You don't need a manager unless it's a restaurant.
Mont worked his way up.
He definitely climbed the ladder.
I used to bus here.
He used to run food.
yeah.
I used to expedite.
I earned it.
Okay. Where was I? Sorry, I'm pulling this up here. Okay.
Mont Hardcastle.
Mont. Saturday night, Hardcastle saw something new across the street. Not odd. New.
New.
That's new.
My eyes ain't seen this.
That there's new.
That's new.
What in the tarnation?
Well, that's new,
Right.
right?
Yeah, that's new. Okay.
Oh,
Hey,
Mont.
come over here. Something new.
Two girls was kissing over there.
Yeah.
That's new.
That's new. Quote, it was suspicious to me in the way he was acting, running around in front of the boutique, yelling and screaming and banging on the windows.
That's new.
Look, maybe he was. Maybe he thought he was in the Astros dugout and someone was throwing breaking balls.
That's right.
You had to give us a
Give a
tip those
sign.
pitches.
Tip the pitch.
The boutique named, it's MI, but I think it's My Dream Angels.
Or Michigan Dream Angels.
Or
Is an adult store. It has several displays in the windows, including mannequins wearing different styles of lingerie.
And they're dressed as damsels in distress, I think.
Me Dream Angels.
Need to be saved.
He said that the mannequins were telling him that they needed to be let out or something. He believed they were being sex trafficked.
Oh.
The mannequins?
Yes.
I told you he's a hero.
The
The
man
mannequins.
identified now as James.
These aren't okay, Jay. These aren't sex dolls.
Right.
No.
The man identified as James Isaac Short, Jimmy Short, if
Jimmy
you're friends with him.
Short. Jimmy Too Short.
Right. Jimmy Short, which also sounds like his nickname.
Right?
It sounds like
Jimmy
one.
Tall or Jimmy Short?
It's Jimmy
yeah.
Short.
It's
Jimmy
a mob guy name.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember there was Linda Long?
You owe Jimmy Short money. You owe me money.
We worked at a restaurant
called
in
the Eggery in
the
St.
Eggery
Louis, where
in-
we bust tables, and there was a waitress named Linda Long, and then there was another waitress named Linda
Short.
No, her name wasn't Short. They just called her Linda Short because she wasn't Linda
Really?
Long.
Linda
Yes.
Long, and then we were like, "Is it Linda? Who? I got to run this out to Linda's table." Well, which table is it?
It's
Is
not
it Linda
Linda
Long
Long.
or Linda Short?
It's Linda Short.
All right, fine. Ask Mont Hardcastle
Well,
what the hell's going on. He's
Jimmy-
managing
Jimmy
this
Short?
Not
bar.
Hardcastle. If that's what it's Monty, right?
I don't know.
It has.
It has to be.
Has
Monty,
But
yeah.
if you're Mont Hardcastle, your name dictates where your life's gonna go.
Sure.
You're either going to be an extra in Magic Mike
Or manage a dive bar like
Right.
Mont
or manage
did.
a dive bar.
You're
Right.
definitely not going to be a priest. You know what I
No,
mean?
but
Right.
you could be like a badass personal injury lawyer.
You're not going to be an ice skater, I'll
at
tell you that.
Hardcastle and Carmen.
You're not going to be like an
Hardcastle and
adjunct.
McCormick.
You won't be an adjunct professor.
Also, I can't get over that. I really do believe he's a sweetheart.
I agree
'cause
with you.
He watched a man do a crazy thing, and he goes, "That's new."
That's
he
new.
doesn't
Yeah.
think.
Right.
He's
He
not
didn't
saying-
judge it.
He didn't judge it.
There
Judge
was
it.
no judgment in that's
Right.
new.
That's why I love this
Right?
guy.
Never
There's
seen that.
He is like Crunch. No judgment.
He's like Planet Fitness. I think Mont Hardcastle should be the protector of Dumb People Town.
Sure,
Like he should
definitely.
be the bouncer,
He's
the
working the door.
manager.
He's
Okay,
like,
you work
hey, don't
manager
be
of
so
Dumb
hard on him, boys.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's
It's new.
new. Be careful.
New
It's
thing.
new.
Jimmy
Let
Short,
it happen.
Jimmy Short then tried to break into the shop. Hardcastle says he watched him try the door several times, and he's like, "Not open. They're not open."
You know it's locked. You checked it 6 times
Right.
prior.
As he's got the cigarette in his mouth. No.
Yeah, he's like, he lights it. Not open. Jimmy Short.
On the out.
I love you so much. Then Jimmy Short jumped onto the bench. There's a bench in front of the
My
adult
Angels,
shop.
yeah.
And kicked the glass window until it shattered.
Okay,
Nice.
that is a pro karate move.
Yeah.
To go off the bench, that's like a BJ. I'm going to get very specific on UFC. That's a BJ Penn run up the side of the UFC cage and then
Bo
kick
Jackson style.
Yeah, he ran up the wall. He essentially used leverage from a bench to fly and kick it.
Also, I've seen those like WTO riot videos and stuff, like where people are throwing like full street steel trash cans through Starbucks
yes.
and they don't break.
Yeah.
How's he kicking through this?
He's unbelievable.
How has ESPN not done a Bo Jackson Horseman joke? Or
like
or
this
run.
is Sports
This
Center
or
or
run or
Boja.
something
We,
like that.
Yeah.
we need to do it. All right,
All right.
fine, done.
Probably because they're sports journalists who think they're funny and not
they're
good
not.
comedians who are actually funny.
There you go. Thank you.
Quote-
You said a mouthful there, Jeff Dye.
Mont
It's true.
Hardcastle, quote, "I told my bartender to call the police. Let them know I'm going to be over there holding this guy for him and that it wasn't a fight." Hardcastle.
I love this guy.
Let him know
for him.
it's
I
not
told-
a fight. My knee's just going to be in his back, and his face is going to be on the ground.
He
he
will not
Batman?
be breathing for 27 seconds. Mont
Tell the
Hardcastle.
cops I'm going to be over there
I
Holding
told
him for him.
I
dealing with
told-
something new.
Hey, whose bartender is that? Is that the bar's bartender? Is
Right.
that is
Yes.
that is it the bar's
Marty
bartender?
Birds.
Well, whose is it? Is it the bar's or is it yours, Mont Hardcastle?
My bartender.
What
My
city is
bartender.
this? I want to meet Mont.
So do I.
I told my bartender to call the police.
My
Let them know
bartender.
I'm going to be over there holding this guy for them, that it wasn't a fight, Hardcastle
This
said.
is so the guy who says that's my bartender is like the waiter who comes over and says,
So what?
"Look, I got a fillet for you tonight."
You got it. You do.
I thought the restaurant has it. No, you've got it.
You
Okay.
got it. All
Okay.
right, fine.
And then
I got a delicious branzina.
I got.
You don't got
What
nothing.
do we
I got
having?
pancakes for somebody.
What are we having?
Dan,
What are we?
Dan likes the waiter or waitress
sits
who
down.
turns the chair around, sits
Sits
down
down their table and says, "What, are we having,
I'm
guys?
the cool one. Yeah.
What are we
we
having? We're having something.
Right now
You're
we're
not
having a bad
anything."
moment.
Yeah. We have a problem.
That's what we have.
I'm gonna soon need the manager. That's what I'm gonna.
We are about to have a
I'll
family dinner
tell my
where
bartender to call.
You know what my favorite one is?
but
Empty plate, walk up, hated it, huh? I'm like,
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah, the worst.
Sorry, we didn't like our food, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't want to go off on a tangent too far, but what is people's enthusiasm with fajitas? When it walks by, my mom can't handle
just
herself.
the sizzling
It's
nature
going
of
tss, and my mom's like,
Yeah.
"Ooh,
I know.
you've seen fajitas? Mom."
Fajitas have
you
fi-
know
they-
how smoke works.
every
Yeah,
restaurant
why?
has figured it out. 2 ounces of meat, 17 ounces of veggies.
Yes.
And you're like, $18? Yeah.
Sure.
And
Why
if
not?
you leave the tails on that goddamn shrimp, I'm gonna lose my mind.
We
Yes.
cut up 18 peppers for this thing. Sliced them up.
All you
Yeah.
need is
Right.
one. All you
Take
needed
the
was
tails off. I'm not gonna burn my fingers.
Do we feel like dessert?
Oh no.
one. How are we feeling?
So he
Although
told
Dan,
his bartender.
when we were busboys, I would say if someone ate everything off their plate, I would, as I'm taking the plate, you want me to wrap that up for you?
That's
a great.
Now
That's a good
funnier.
joke.
Now, see, I have a restaurant joke I like.
Yeah.
But it comes from, I believe, the documentary comedian from Seinfeld. When I say to somebody, I'm like, "Can I have a root beer?"
I did this.
and they're like, "We actually don't have root beer." I'm like, you know what? Let's
Cancel
forget
that.
it. And I once had like a 3-minute conversation with this poor guy in Boston who was like, "Well, we don't have it." I was like, "You know what? Then I don't want it." He goes, "You can't.
You can't
We don't
not
we don't
want
have
it.
any." I go, "You know what?
That makes it better,
Let's
though.
not do it then."
And
I kept.
it's the restaurant
Okay, then
conversation.
take it off the bill.
Isn't it the best?
Yeah.
It's the restaurant conversation of "you're fired, I quit."
Right.
That's
exactly,
essentially it.
Exactly.
All right, let's get this.
Okay. Tell the cops it wasn't a fight, Hardcastle said. Quote, "It turned into a little bit of a fight." But it
Good
wasn't
old Mont.
but it wasn't that way.
Which means
What
it
does that
turned into
mean?
a lot of a fight.
See, I'm gonna read
If,
the whole
if
quote.
Hardcastle's
But it
telling,
wasn't that way.
so Hardcastle tells his bartender, "I'm gonna go hold this guy down. Tell the cops that we're not fighting
We're
because
holding them for him.
Yeah, that
Because I don't want to be implicated in a public like
assault. Okay,
right,
I'm
right.
doing their job for him.
Right.
And then he goes over there and it's a fight.
Right. This is the full quote.
the
Or
guy
a wrestling match, I
Kick
bet.
through a glass.
I told
thing.
my bartender to call the police, let them know that I'm going to be over there holding this guy for them, that it wasn't a fight. It turned into a little bit of a fight,
Which
but
means
it wasn't
turned
that way.
It turned into a lot of a fight.
I think he said, but it wasn't that way because there was like no punches and stuff. It was like a big
Yeah,
wrestling
a lot of
match.
moving around.
And the
Yes.
guy's holding mannequins and he's holding him.
Hardcastle says short. Hardcastle in short.
Hardcastle in short is the new
Insert-
Hardcastle in McCormick.
Yeah. Hardcastle is short. Says short was halfway into the store when he pulled him out, and you know it was by his pants.
Yes.
Nope. Come on.
Hey, you're coming
Quote,
with me.
I had him down on the ground, and all he was doing was trying to mule kick me in the back while I was on top of him. That does not work.
So his
that
face-
doesn't even make sense.
So
to
no,
me.
no, Dan. His
his
face
face
is
is-
on the ground.
Right.
And he's trying to
And he's
kick
trying to
back with
kick
his
back.
Donkey
He's-
kick.
I know, but Hardcastle's on top of him.
Right,
Now,
that's-
he could be trying to fling his own leg
Dan, when he's
back.
if he's
Like a
fling-
scorpion.
yeah,
A
if
mule
he-
kick
if
is
he's
straight
bend,
behind.
Yeah, right. A mule kick is straight behind, but he's trying to bend his knee back. and
Jeff is
kick
right.
him.
That's a scorpion move.
Yeah.
Scorpion kick.
Trying to
Straight
scorpion
scorpion.
kick.
Trying to scorpion him in the head.
That's hard to do. Flexible guy.
Here's what I love, too. This sentence alone, if we had said nothing else other than this next one. So Hardcastle says he was trying to kick me in the back while I was on top of him. Next sentence. 2 women then came over and sat on Short's legs until police arrived.
That's just two random women.
By the way, there
Sat
are
on his
Hey,
legs.
Dan,
gals.
there are websites for that, like people's like
Right.
fantasies.
Sitting
on
on
that.
this.
I also, I guess
Sit on
maybe
my
it's my
legs.
fault. I pictured this at like 1 a.m.
Yeah, I
know.
So 2 women just showed up. I'll help.
You
Sit
need
on
help?
my legs while he punches me in the
You
back.
need
That's
help?
the only
We'll
way I
sit
can
on
come.
his legs. And then he
I'll
was
help,
like,
Mont.
hallelujah.
According to court documents, Short caused well over $1,000 in damage, destroying a window, lighting, and a security camera. He doesn't like to be watched. The owner of the shop told the news, Andrew Havernack, that's who she told the reporter, I guess, that she didn't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Guys,
The
look,
owner?
Yeah, all you
she's
had
like,
was a
we
window
are a
broke.
I don't
sex.
want to talk about.
We're a sex store.
What happens here stays here. I respect my clients. This guy was not one of your clients.
I wonder if the guy thought for real, and I'm not the guy on the ground, thought that the 2 women were 2 of the mannequins who came.
Probably.
Were just
Came
sitting
to
on
fight
his
him.
legs.
Came to fight
I was
his
coming to
fight.
help you, gals.
Hey,
Right.
I was
Also-
trying to release you.
What? Maybe the lady sounds like she's got something to hide.
I know.
Right?
Maybe those mannequins were being sex trafficked.
Right?
Hardcastle.
Hardcastle, get on it.
Conspiracy.
Hardcastle says with his background in security, to the surprise of nobody.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
we just asked you how old you are. Yeah, I got a background in security.
You can
so.
tell he should have a tattoo that says "I keep people away from the stage."
Yeah.
because you know he has.
He's kept.
Well, and
yeah.
also his background in security is probably just he used to be security at the bar he now manages.
Right,
Sure.
exactly.
He was
Or
the door
him.
guy. Yeah.
a back quote.
He
background
has a bumper sticker that says "Ask me about my citizens' arrests."
Due to his background in security, he had to do something. Quote, "It's somebody's business," Hardcastle says.
I love this guy.
I'm not the type of person to stand idly by and watch something happen.
Man of action.
Oh,
He's
man.
Hardcastle. He's a man of action.
Jimmy Short is in the Miller County Jail facing property damage and burglary charges. We will get out of here on this. It's a game we get to play every once in a while. Whose home state did this happen in? Are you from Washington?
I'm from
correct?
Washington
Yes.
State.
So
Okay.
Washington State.
I
so
mean,
it's
make
either
sure I knew.
So it's either Dan's from Illinois. We're from Missouri.
Yeah.
And you're from Washington State. So is it Illinois?
You can go first, Tig, or third. Where do you want to go?
Washington. Does this feel like a methy Spokane thing? What do you?
I don't think it's Washington.
Okay.
I do think. I don't know much about Missouri,
Yeah.
but
for the
it
best.
could happen in a lot of those outskirts of Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Illinois.
Illinois.
Okay.
Jay.
I think it's Washington.
I think it's Washington too.
Okay.
This feels like Spokane. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because there aren't a lot of sex
Stores in Missouri. The Bible Belt kind of cuts those out.
Play along, townies. We will leave you on this because Mont Hardcastle is taking care of all the new problems in the beautiful state of, and city, I'll say them both, of Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri.
Oh, what?
Yes. That's some Ozark action right there.
We've been to the Ozarks. That is
And if you look back at Mont Hardcastle's T-shirt, you will see it says Lake of the...
Oh, man.
Should have paid
He's
more
even
attention.
proud of where he's from.
All right, dude. That's our home state. That's
Coming to
unreal.
you from KSPR in Missouri.
Thank you. Dan, can you give us a little teaser of what we're going to see in the last
can.
story?
It's gross.
Okay. Jeff Dye's with us. Get ready for a gross story on the other side of this. It's Dumb People Town. Don't go nowhere.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to DPT. Want to remind people, hey, holidays are upon us. If you want to get a great, not very expensive gift for your podcast-loving fan, go to fluffycrate.com.
Yeah.
And you can get all of the Dumb People Town
Type
stuff.
in Sklar. It's all underneath that. Or Dumb People Town.
Or Scarborough Country. Hook it up. It's something that your podcast-loving Dumb People Town townie will love you for. Join our Patreon. That's another way to support the show and get extra content. We do extra shows just for you and all that stuff.
Give your aunt who loves a good afternoon wine the 6 p.m. is the 3 a.m. of day drinking.
It's a great shirt.
That's a great shirt.
God bless her. All right, let's jump into the last story with Jeff Dye.
Here we go. Sent in by Josette Covington at Pure Josie.
Thanks, Pure
Okay.
Josie. That's Pure Josie right there.
A man made the world wince after revealing that this is gross,
Speak for
and
the
I'm
world.
telling you one last time, so you can get away from this story if you want to.
Stop eating wherever you are.
I've
Listen,
tried.
Put the spaghetti down.
Made the world wince after revealing that a 3-inch pair of tweezers was lodged in his urethra
Yowza.
for how long?
Okay, so Dan, you know that I had a kidney stone.
Mm-hmm.
11,
I thought you were going
12
to say, you
years
know
ago.
that I have a tweezer issue.
I have tweezers in there right now. No, I had a kidney stone 11 years ago.
Uh-huh.
It got impacted, which means the stone got stuck in my ureter wall. So they had to do a surgery.
Explain to us,
There's only
There's
ureter
a
wall.
Greenlee for your
So ureter
ureter
is
wall.
the pathway between your bladder and your penis on the way out.
That's Dan. Oh, no, that's Greenlee. That's
That was
Jason.
Dan. That was Dan. And then, so there's only one way in. They knock you out and they go in through the hole.
Yeah.
And then they scrape it out. And then they put a
Jeebers.
stent in there, which is like a plastic stent. That was almost more painful than the stone itself. The stent was in there for 8 days. And then I went to my urologist.
Yeah.
And a woman, a nice woman who I've
Sure.
never met before, said, okay, I'm going to take it out now. And I'm like,
Oh.
wait, you're not putting me to sleep? And she's like, no. She's like, you can watch it on this TV up here. And they put like
No.
a cover over.
No.
And
Yeah,
I was
can
like,
we
how are you
televise
getting
it?
it out? She had this long, thin thing with
Nope,
like a
nope,
hook on the end.
Nope.
And she's like, it's going to be painful for 1 second, then it'll be total relief. And I was like, what if you miss?
Yeah, what do you mean? She doesn't even have a penis. She doesn't know.
You don't know.
Painful for 1
And
second.
she's like, I hope
Listeners
I get it
got
on the
2
first
for
try.
1.
And I was like, you and me both. And then she went in and
Oh,
she
doctor.
and
Yanked
she
it.
pulled it out, and it was. I can't believe I let somebody do that.
How good was the relief?
It was great relief, but
Do you
I mean,
send her a holiday card every year?
I do. We're
Was there
mar-
any sort of
We got married
lubricant
in a
involved?
commitment. So no, look, I can't believe I survived it. I kind of tried to
can't
block
believe
it
you
out.
did either.
I can't imagine a set
Pair
of tweezers being
in your urethra?
Is this person a
How
fi-
long do you guys
fish
think
fan?
they were in there?
5 minutes.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm taking the under here because
I-
I'm
I-
hopeful. I'm an optimist.
I think 3 days.
Okay.
I think a month.
A month?
Yeah.
A 22-year-old man made the world wince after revealing that a 3-inch pair of tweezers was lodged in his urethra for 4 years.
Oh, my Lord. It was all the way
Jeff's
in there.
face.
No
Jeff said
way.
5 minutes.
Not to get political, but that is what it feels like in this presidential cycle.
4
That's a
years.
terrible
4 years of a
Tweezer
tweezer
dick.
up your
Okay.
urethra.
The man who has chosen to go unnamed, believe it or not.
Oh.
Yep.
So but this happened to him at 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. Visited a clinic in Saudi Arabia where he disclosed that he inserted tweezers into his member 4 years ago. This man is not paying any bills. If you aren't dealing with this,
Right.
what else are you pushing off the table in your life?
Yeah, he's gone
He's
rogue on
never
society.
gotten his oil changed.
Dan,
No,
I have a
literally.
I have a stack of bills and stuff that I have to get to on my desk. But if I don't get to it, it's not like I have tweezers in my.
Are you like me? Do you feel like you need a day where you don't have anything else to do before you
I
go?
need
And as a
everyone
parent,
to leave
I
me
will
alone.
never have
You'll
that
never
day.
have that day. I need everyone to leave me alone so I can get to the $14.21
Maybe you
I
guys are-
owe the University of UCLA Medical Lab for
I
blood
know.
work.
Maybe you guys are like me. This is like, as a comic, I feel like I could do what we're doing all day.
Yeah,
But
sure.
you have me do like emails and bills.
Forget
and
it.
after an hour and a half,
Forget it.
I am exhausted.
Right.
I say to
My
myself,
brain, that side of my brain, really.
But
I'm
how
just so
good do you
worn
feel
out.
when you pay a couple, put it in the mailbox? You're like, oh, I'm a
the best.
real adult.
You
feel
feel
like
like
an adult, but before not getting to do it makes me feel like I'm clinically depressed.
Right.
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
like
yeah,
It's
yeah.
there.
because it feels too big for me, and I'm like,
But at
regular people
least
do
all
this.
of us don't have a tweezer
Tweezer
in our
right.
dicks.
An X-ray revealed that the foreign object was lodged lengthwise. Could you imagine?
Yeah, of course.
Horizontal, widthwise.
No.
We all knew that.
And slantways.
What is that? Thanks for letting us know that.
Lodged lengthwise in the patient's urethra with the tips embedded in the flesh.
Just the tips.
Yeah, I know. The cringe-inducing case was such an anomaly that the team of doctors documented it with a write-up in the medical journal Urology Case Reports by a doctor of England's Royal Wolverhampton NHS Trust.
This could be like the male version of I didn't know I was pregnant.
Oh,
Remember that show on
100%.
TLC?
I didn't know I
and
was
I had
dying.
tweeters. I didn't
I
know
didn't know I
had
was
tweeters.
dumb.
His ailment sounded highly unusual, doctors noted, especially as he hadn't experienced the fevers, chills, or other urological symptoms associated with the condition. According to the report, doctors were forced to...
Also, it's not a condition.
No.
Let's not.
He did it to
He
himself.
did it to himself.
Not a condition.
According to the report, doctors were forced to squeeze the man's penis using the external pressure technique called squeezing, in order to close
Jelking.
in order to close the tweezers and prevent them from ripping his urethra. Afterward, they sent the man home with a recommendation that he undergoes an evaluation, which he refused.
Yeah, of course. This guy is not going to go undergo an evaluation.
The report says that the case
I'll get
marks
to it 4 years from now.
This is the second time that open thumb metal forceps were discovered in a male urethra. Doctors haven't determined why the man intentionally shoved the tweezers, I can tell you, in his nether regions. Although the report explains he could have been engaging in, does anybody know what it's called? I knew.
Oh, it's
Does anybody listen to Savage Love podcast enough to know the
no,
answer to
it's
this?
like beating or
You're
something
close.
like that.
That's you're in the right wheelhouse.
Docking?
No,
it's like
docking's way more fun.
Is that a different thing?
Gripping or griping.
No, you can feel it.
Grifting.
Bleeding.
No,
Yeah.
it's called like
Gronking?
No. It's like am I right? It's like
There are
pen-
townies
penning.
yelling
It's
at
like
you, right?
penting or pegging, not pegging, not pegging, penning or
I'll just tell you. The report explains he could have been engaging in sounding.
sounding. I knew it was
Which is the insertion of foreign objects into one's orifices
To
for
keep it
sexual
erect. Yeah, that's
gratification.
right.
So
That's
people,
right.
what they'll like put
Stick
a metal
a rod
and they have
in
like
to keep it-
gauging rods.
Right.
Like
So-
when you're trying to keep a cake up. You know, you
Right.
put
Yeah.
like a wooden
Yeah.
stake. in it so it
exactly
doesn't-
like when you're trying to keep a cake up,
Or
Jeff.
like if you put like a tall, thin, like glass lemonade stir
Yes.
in your
in your penis.
The most common reason for self-insertion of a foreign body into the male urethra is for autoerotic and sexual gratification, especially during masturbation, the report reads. Patients often delay medical help, the report explains,
because it feels so good.
due to
4
guilt
years.
and embarrassment.
Oh,
if anybody out there likes to do sounding, be responsible, be safe, and if something goes wrong, don't wait 4 years.
Yeah.
Just go.
It's sounding like this guy needs some help.
Because to me, that's the only part that's real dumb.
Also-
is you waited 4
Yeah,
years.
you're right.
That's
the doctor
dumb.
will help you. It'll be relieving. And then, hell, maybe they'll make an article about it. And
Right.
like,
Thank you.
That's
and
why
then
he didn't want
we
to do
will
it.
talk about it. He wanted to be talked about on Dumb People Town.
That's
and
why he didn't go to the
congratulations,
doctor
sir.
for 4 years. Is because people like us are making fun of this
You
poor
got your
bastard.
wish. You got your wish. Jeff Dye was able to make fun of you for sounding some tweezers up your junk.
Gross.
That's
There you
what's
go.
sad.
That is a story, and that is a show. Jeff Dye, I'm so
Love you
happy
guys.
you.
Does that make me? It makes me look at the Seattle Sounders differently.
a little bit
as a
differently.
sports team.
They get up in you, the Sounders.
We're
right?
sounding
Oh,
off.
yeah.
We're
They
sounding off tonight.
We are sounding.
They get
off.
under your skin, those
Yuck.
guys.
They really get up in you.
Old tweezer wieners.
Yep. So Jeff Dye, again, see him live if you ever have a chance.
JeffDye.com.
JeffDye.com. Follow him on Twitter, follow him on Instagram, and then go
Yeah.
see the show on NBC. It's really cool, and you can probably see old episodes on
Yeah.
online and whatnot of Jeff, Terry Bradshaw, William Shatner, George Foreman just traveling the goddamn world.
And the Winkler.
And Henry Winkler, who's
brilliant.
unbelievable. I'm
and
sure the
Barry.
nicest,
Good guy.
best dude ever.
Won his first Emmy.
Oh, so good. All right, that's the show, guys. We got to get back to work. Oh, shit!
Dum 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 dum. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Scarpins Avenue.
A podcast network.